Hello, everyone. Okay, we're here. There's a new episode of whatever the hell this is now. This is a special episode because, as you can see, I actually have two guests now, not one, which you might be thinking, that's a bit much for you, Harry. Calm down. And I might agree with you. We'll see how this one goes at the end of it, whether or not this turns out to be good or horrible. It could really go either way. But I do have with me here, make sure I get the pointing right, I have Kingfisher over here, your boy from Paradox, and over here we have apocdud. I was trying to get the pointing right there.
I just forgot my name.
Who is it again?
No, your name is like on the front of the thing. It's almost it's almost impossible for me to forget your name. I was just trying to get this going right because it's difficult. But anyway, obviously the AEF Grand Finals are coming up for both of you two. Paradox versus Genuine will be the Grand Final. And I will have a link in the description, most likely, to where you can get those tickets or the AEF website. So, without further ado, we'll get into this. So basically what this is going to be is essentially a press conference with one person asking questions. So that's the pitch that I gave both of these two, and that's the pitch that I will now give to whoever's watching this. So we'll get into it straight away, and I'm going to ask the first question. It's going to be over to you, APOC, and that will be... So you just came out of the ESL bracket, ESL AUNZ champs. You was a recent loss to Ground Zero. So off the back of that, coming into this is your next, I guess, a LAN tournament. How's the team feeling coming into this final?
Pretty confident. I mean, no offense to you, David, but it's a bit easier than last LAN in terms of people. I mean, in terms of the teams, there's no order in chiefs. So, but it is a best of five, which we have a history of sucking major dick at. So, but I think everyone's pretty confident. I mean, we just came off this boot camp as well, and we've been fixing a lot of mistakes. So, yeah, I think everyone's feeling pretty good, and we all enjoy playing on LAN and played better on LAN, I think. So, yeah.
So feeling confident then coming into this grand final. Obviously, your opponents will be Paradox, and speaking of you guys, you're playing with your actual core in this tournament, aren't you?
Yep.
Right. So obviously, the last time I interviewed you, you were still playing with sort of a mixed core. So now with this full core in play, how are you guys feeling going into this matchup, this LAN matchup?
Well, honestly, we feel confident as well. I know that the boys in Genuine have been boot camping, and I think you've won competition before this as well. Is the CG one before or after, or the LPL, I should say?
I think it's before. It's like 2 days before. Yeah.
So it's in like 3 days or something.
Fuck, I don't know. It's on the 25th.
The 25th.
It's on a Thursday or some shit. So.
Anyway, they're going to be burnt as fuck, you know? We're going to go into it fresh.
Look, you're not wrong. I'm going to be tired as fuck.
And yeah, we'll be ready.
Still destroy you though.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Brilliant. So
Paradox, best of five, Yeah. Not the best history.
So branching off that, there obviously you do have a tournament that you're going to before this. Does that you spoke there about being a little bit tired coming in, or you might be a little bit tired going into that final, or is that how you look at it going into it, or is there any advantage that you can see, I guess, being more active than what Paradox is right now?
I don't know, because we literally fly into New Zealand, play the 1 day, fly out to Melbourne like the next day, and then have to play that. I feel like it's going to be probably pretty taxing for everyone. I don't really see how we would have an advantage from it, other than because it's too far apart to be really warped up. But I guess it could be good to iron out mistakes before we play against Paradox, because we're going to be playing against SYF, which I'd say is a fairly similar team in a bunch of young star kind of thing. Young stars, sorry. So it's pretty pretty similar lands in that sense. So yeah, I think as long as people don't like get fucked up on the night after New Zealand, I think it'll be alright. But yeah, I don't think it comes at an advantage, no.
Okay, so you're coming into this obviously a little bit maybe more not as relaxed and as calm, we should say, as the Paradox lineup. But talking to you, David, what kind of weaknesses do you see when you look at that genuine lineup? What are the things that you're looking to exploit when you come into this final?
It's five weaknesses, mate. That's all I see. Good genuine. I don't know, man. Well, you want me to fucking?
Well, you don't have to give me the whole strat book, but do you see something there that's like a glaring weakness that you go, man, we've got them here?
Yeah, tell me exactly what I can fix before the land's over, John.
Yeah, okay. Well, fuck, I don't know. That's a hard question. It's a hard question to answer without going into. But I mean, like, they're playing a competition right before as well. I think that's probably it. Actually, isn't a disadvantage because it's genuine. They're boot camping now, but they haven't played full time all this time, so they're not going to have the world's hugest amount of depth, maybe. So maybe the things they used to win against SYF, they're going to think, oh, can we use this? Can we not? Like, that's not a nice feeling. Whereas all we're playing is a season of CGM right now. And we're not exactly feeling pressured to, like, guarantee the win by using what we have, if that makes sense. So I guess information, yeah. Information, but at the same time, like, they can do whatever. We're at Frag'em, doesn't matter.
So there's more, I guess, demos for you to look at of them than they have of you. Would you say that's accurate? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, then branching off that, I'll ask you, how difficult do you think this matchup is going to be?
Me again?
Yeah, again, you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be tough, no matter what. I've always said genuinely a really good team. I've always had a lot of respect for the way they work and the way they play. They try to play good CS. So, hats off to you. But that's also, like, I don't know. It's from an IGL's perspective, that's also the type of team I feel comfortable against because I know they're not going to just do something like, like the way they rotate and stuff. It's always different when it's a team thinking about it versus a team that doesn't think about it at all. And there's just 5 individuals doing their thing. So in terms of that, yeah. But no, it'll be a tough game, I'm sure. We've got 5 very talented players, especially young Daryl and Hubert, my 2 faves. Yeah, no, it'll be tough. It'll be fun.
I'll ask the same of you, Tom.
Whether it'll be tough. Yeah, I mean, I think can't underestimate them. We're also coming in as like the favorites, which is something I find harder than being the underdogs, because there's a lot more pressure to win it, and especially against like a newer team. Obviously, we know less about them than they do about us, so that's a bit difficult. But I think in terms of just raw experience as a lineup, we obviously have the advantage there, and I think our players are better, but there's definitely some really sharp up and comers in that team. I mean, David's a bot, but the rest are pretty decent. So, yeah.
No.
Brilliant. So, well, then obviously you're doing quite a few LANs coming up to this, Tom, and but I did want to ask you: is there anything in particular that you're doing to prepare for Paradox? That's or is it just a general preparation for all opponents? Is there anything specific for them, or is you know what I mean?
We haven't done anything yet. I don't know if we will do anything before LAN. I won't reveal that, but honestly, all the preparation we're doing is just fixing our own mistakes, because that's like if we play good CS, we'll win pretty much.
Right.
If we don't fuck up things like we did the other night against Ground Zero, we'll beat them. So yeah, we're mainly focusing on ourselves.
Yeah. So it's yeah, like you said, mainly focusing on yourself and trying to improve what you're doing rather than focusing so much on what it is that Paradox brings to the table.
Exactly.
So, I want to ask you this, David. You talked about it just then a little bit before, but how important is it for your Paradox lineup right now to win this?
I think it's huge. it's really important, especially for the younger players that Tom was talking about, like players on Vex site. This is their first real LAN, I'd say, and they're really pumped up over it, as you would be at a young age as well. You get to travel. One of them gets to travel, interstate, play at a big competition in front of a crowd. For the rest of us as well, we definitely think this is going to be a good kind of yardstick of where we're at the moment as a core. Yeah, definitely say we're hungry to win.
Okay, so you talked about being a favourite before, Tom, and how that sometimes doesn't work out well for you. You'd prefer to be the underdog, but I'd say like you said, going into this matchup, you, Genuine, the core, are definitely looked at as the favourite to win this. So how do you go about managing that expectation? Is there certain things that you do to prepare for that?
Not really. I think it's really important not to go in cocky and like thinking we're going to win this. Like you need to give the appropriate amount of respect to anyone you verse, because that's when things start to fuck up. Is when you start making plays you normally wouldn't. You treat them as lesser opponents, and then you let them exploit gaps. So that's like pretty much the main thing. Got to make sure everyone, like, you remind everyone, treat this properly. Don't make plays that you wouldn't against better teams. And that's pretty much all you can do. Like the nerves part is the part that mainly gets to me, at least. If I'm versing a team that I know we should win against, and you lose a few rounds, and it could be like, fuck, we're gonna look like fucking idiots. So yeah, that's pretty much that's all you can really do about it.
Yeah. So obviously this is a LAN final, so talking about some of the younger players on your team, David, do you have any concern about how well they can perform under the unique pressure of that LAN situation as opposed to playing online?
I think you're right about it being a unique pressure, but I think, honestly, they'll rise to the occasion. I believe in both of them a lot. And like Tom said, we're the underdogs. The pressure isn't on us, it's on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go into it and just, play the best we can, see what we can do, and if we win, brilliant. If we lose, expected outcome,
Right, so you are sort of taking advantage then of having that underdog spot right now. That does sort of relieve a lot of the pressure from you and some of those younger players. It allows you to maybe not go into this with as much nerves as maybe some of the Genuine players would have.
I think so, definitely. We just feel like we have nothing to lose, just things to gain. And that's a really nice mentality to go into a LAN with. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, when the cornered mouse has nothing to lose, he's the most dangerous. Something like that. That's like three sayings in one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's quite it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's close enough, I guess. So, I'll ask you now, Tom. How are you going to beat this Paradox lineup? What's the magic recipe?
I think it's going to come down a lot to game sense and just having the ability to read the pushes and the aggressive plays, because I think there's a lot of players on the Paradox lineup that kind of their main way of attack is being really aggressive. That's how they perform well. They're very emotional players, and they need to get going, get rolling, start going for aggro picks. So I think as long as everyone on my team can shut that down, play smart, and then we can go into executes, go into the strats we practice, then not get picked off, I think we'll be like totally fine. That's how I look at it. It's the same thing for versing SYF, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So back to you then, David. So I wanted to ask you now about the map pool situation between you two teams. How are you feeling your map pool sort of ranks against theirs? Is it comfortable for you?
Well, I mean, we've had enough time now to make a map pool, which I'm happy with. Because this lineup of 5, we've been going for I think 3 months now, so it's been plenty of time to cover 6 maps. And I think both teams kind of know which 5 maps we're going to play. It's kind of obvious, unless they throw some sort of curveball at us. So like we finished it. We've colored it in. In terms of our stronger maps versus the weaker maps. Honestly, I haven't really thought about it too hard yet, but leading up to the LAN, I probably will try to order them. It's kind of like Tom said, up until, I guess, a couple of days before the event, we're mostly focusing on ourselves, trying to just fix our weaknesses where we see them on each map, make sure everything's up to scratch. But yeah, in terms of like the maps to play, I feel like both teams have a pretty good idea. I think both teams, especially Genuine with the time they've had together, they have a really well like fleshed out map pool, I think, with the ones they play, and we are on our way to that definitely as well. So yeah, it should be interesting. Should be any like blowout maps, I don't think.
Can I ask, are we going to get to see Vertigo in this grand final? No. That's an immediate no from you. All right, thank the gods. I'm sure both. I'm sure both Conky and Manic are very happy about that one, because God knows how difficult it is to commentate that map. So I'll ask you then, Tom, about your team's map pool. How are you feeling going up against Paradoxes?
I mean, yeah, like Dave said, like I think I know exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I think the map pools line up pretty equally. I think I'm pretty confident about how we're going to go in terms of all 5. I think like we've just had more time to prepare on each map. And I very much doubt they're going to play Vertigo, but that would be fine for us anyway. So yeah, I think pretty confident overall with it. Yeah.
So I'll ask you this, because sometimes when people talk about this Genuine lineup, you'll hear a lot of commentators talk about how a lot of the times you guys like to, I guess, the word escapes me now, but it's front running, right? Where basically, when you guys get ahead in a match, or even in a best of 3 or a best of 5, you tend to do a lot better than, say, if you start off a bit slower. So, do you think there's any truth to that consensus, or is that something that you don't see yourself?
We definitely have a history of starting off slowly in a lot of our games, which I don't really know the cause of. We'll go down like 1-8 or something and then bring it back. Like it happens constantly. But it's not like people really tilt or anything. Like we have a good atmosphere. Everyone's mentally fine. So yeah, I haven't actually like quite locked down what the issue is with that. But definitely when we start getting going, everyone gets really hyped and a lot more communicative. Yes, that's the word. Which is, I think, just the fact that for pretty much every single team I played in, the more hyped up people are, the more they're going to communicate, the more they're going to talk and express themselves. So I think that's why when we get rolling, we like properly get rolling, and we can do quite a lot of comebacks.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that a lot of the time for you, your team's not the kind of team that ever feels like they're truly out of a map?
No, not really. We pretty much just play every round like it's an individual round. There's no real like people giving up or anything like that, which I have had on other teams. So yeah, it's a really good team environment for that kind of thing. Getting back into the game. But yeah, if we can get strong starts, that's when we're at our best. Which is pretty self-explanatory, I guess. So yeah.
Fair enough. So David, do you think do you see anything unique in Genuine's playstyle that you don't get against other opponents? Is there something that you look at with them and you go, okay, this is what I expect to be different as opposed to playing someone else?
Well, like I said earlier, they're a team that kind of respect the process, and I think they try to drill themselves pretty well on maps. So I guess that's kind of, they don't really rely on aim stars popping off, and kind of looser style play like we've seen some other rosters say. Let's just say, I think SYF's a perfect example, right? They've had no time together. They have a bunch of aimers. That's how they've been winning their games. So yeah, I think Genuine are maybe not a counter to that, but they are like the opposite of that in a way. There are 5 people that've been together for quite a while now, and they try to have a calculated approach to maps, which I love. I respect that, definitely. But yeah, I'd say that's probably from my perspective, that's like the defining feature of Genuine as a team.
So I'll ask you then, Tom, about that one, because obviously it's been pointed out a few times now that Genuine is a lineup unique in the fact that it has been around for a long time. You guys have kept the core for a decent amount of time now, and in the Australian scene, that doesn't happen a lot. You get a lot of roster changes. You only have to look just to your left. I don't know if that's left for you, but there's definitely, there's roster changes going on, whereas you guys have kept that core. So what advantages does it give you to stay in that core for so long?
I mean, I think it's been the reason we've gotten to the point we're at, where we can be considered like top 5 or whatever in Australia, because like we've just been steadily grinding with the same core for since January now, when we got stat. It's given us, we've been able to drill every map quite a lot. We still go through a lot of changes in terms of like internally, changing roles now and then, or changing completely redoing maps. Like we're still doing that all the time. So it's not like we've completed anything. We're learning every day, but we know each other really well now. We're all comfortable with each other, and we have kind of a deeper strap book to fall back on compared to teams that have been thrown together more recently. So that's one advantage that gives us. But I think it's incredibly important to stick together as a team if you want to reach the top, basically. I mean, in terms of pure like experience, there's teams that are below us that have players that have much more experience than us. But just because we've stuck together for so long and we've grinded it out, I think that's why we're at the level we're at now. So yeah.
How close do you think? Well, I should say, do you think your team has reached its peak, or if not, how close do you think you are to getting to that? The peak of how well you can play.
Yeah, we have not reached the peak. Is my thing frozen?
No, you're fine on my end.
Okay. No, I didn't. Yeah, no, we haven't reached the peak. We still have so much shit to fix. It's unbelievable. Like the boot camp, while it was helpful, we had a lot of issues with medical stuff and some work stuff that let us use like a third of the time we wanted. So we couldn't solve as much as we wanted to. But yeah, we definitely haven't reached the peak. Like we have tons of stuff to fix. We've got a lot of I think our players are improving every day. I'm still improving a lot as an AWPer and IGL, because that's like a kind of job you got to put a lot of time into to balance those things. So yeah, I think we can definitely reach the top as long as we continue on the trajectory we're on and everyone maintains their level of dedication.
Okay, so I'll ask you the same thing then, David. How have you guys reached your peak, or if not, then how close are you to getting there?
I mean, no, we haven't reached our peak. Definitely not. I think that, yeah, it's like Tom said, or I guess Kane implied, it takes a long time to build things up properly for a team. I don't think, if you're approaching the game the right way, I don't think a team can peak within 3 months. I think it takes longer than that. Because you're always going to be adding things. And once you've added things, you're improving things, refining, you're adding more things. No, as a team, we're nowhere near our peak at all. But we're on our way up.
So would you say that this final, it's almost like a way to show all of the progression that Paradox has made, because obviously you guys have been, kind of quiet as of recently, and when you sort of right before you went into this kind of, I wouldn't say hiatus, but lack of play, you guys were obviously quite high ranked. In fact, probably above Genuine at the time, and then the hiatus happened, and Genuine's made a very big rise now, all the way up to that number 5th spot. So, for you going into this final, do you kind of see it as a way to sort of show all the work that you've done up to this point?
Yeah, I mean, the work will come out by just us playing against them. We're not really thinking of it in terms of, oh yeah, you know, we haven't been able to play many HLTV games. We're gonna show what we can do here. It's more just like a yeah, we've just been working on ourselves, slowly improving over time. Yeah, the hiatus is like, we had to just, even on HLTV, our last results are playing with a sub for like a whole season.
Yeah,
and it's not that super indicative. Like we've been finding, like, you know, we're playing scrims, so we have a bit of a drought of officials against really tough teams. The only good ones we've had were in AEF, because that's the only league we've had all 5 people for that said anyone that we'd really consider a threat, I guess, or like respect as a team. So yeah, no, we're just going into it. I think the event itself would be a good indicator, but either way, we're more thinking about where we are as a team in terms of a map pool and in terms of people coming together. Hang on, my screen just froze. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask you, what was your win-loss at the end of the league? What did you come in at?
Or for MDL?
No, for AEF.
Oh, I think we lost 1 map and we won the rest. Yeah.
Okay, so you're quite happy then with that overall result, I would imagine.
Yes. Oh no, we lost 2. No shit. Yeah. Overall, we're happy. I think the first map, people thought it was a best of 3 instead of a best of 2, and we dropped a map to AGN. At least that's
right.
Someone said to me that, oh, what? It's over after the second map? I'm like, yeah, it's a best of 2. So yeah, like we're a bit unhappy. I was quite unhappy. We dropped a map to them at the start, but yeah, after that it's been fine. We dropped a map to Ground Zero for our last match.
Yep.
And that could have been a 2-0 as well. I think the map we lost was 14-16. It was very close.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been happy with our season, definitely.
Yeah, but so obviously, for those who haven't followed the whole of the AEF League or online, I guess, season, would you call it? I don't know. What's the online league portion? You guys did get that 1-1 against Ground Zero, which I think is kind of indicative of how you guys are standing right now, because obviously there isn't too much in terms of like demos to watch of you guys. I think that's quite a good idea of how well you guys are playing right now, because obviously, you know, if you compare it to the most recent Genuine result against Ground Zero, which turned out to not be
salt the wound.
Yeah, salt in the wound. You know, I'm just trying to stir things. So talking about losses, Tom, I want to throw back. This is gonna be a wild throwback, because I'm gonna go back to the last time Paradox and Genuine actually played each other, which was in May. So this is definitely a throwback, but this is, I think, or at least official on HLTV. This is the last time you guys played each other. If you have played one before, you can jump in with that. But that was a 16-11 loss on Inferno. So I wanted to ask you. It is a long time ago, but what's the difference this time compared to back then?
I mean, we completely redid our Inferno. I think we've redone every map since then. So like, we realized the way we were playing it. Even at that point, we knew we weren't playing the map very well. But after that was kind of a kick in the ass to lose to them, because I think they were using a sub as well. So we were like, what the fuck are we doing? So yeah, we really, switched out most of our stuff and kind of revitalized the map. And we've been a lot better on it since then. Excluding the recent loss against Ground Zero, we've had a pretty good track record on it, I think. So yeah.
So I'll ask you this then, Apoc. Where would you rank Paradox right now?
Good question. I haven't even thought about rankings recently because I think the top 4 is solid, and then it's us and Ground Zero, and then SYF and Paradox is the next 2. I'd probably put Paradox above SYF just because I don't know if SYF is having more of a honeymoon period kind of thing with Zeph coming in, or if it's going to be a consistent upswing. Because obviously SYF do rely a lot on aim, but Zeph has really like impressed me with how quickly he turned that team around. He obviously has a lot of experience from Order now, and he's been IGLing, and yeah, so they definitely have like a strong base to build off. But I'd probably put Paradox at 7th. Yeah, I'd say 7th.
Right. So below yourself and Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Right. So how big would you say that gap is then between your team and their team? Because we talk about, you know, there being a bit of a gap between top 4 and then teams like Ground Zero and yourself, and then is there a gap there that you see, a sizable gap between teams like yourself and Ground Zero and Paradox, or do you think Paradox are right up there with you, both of you two?
I think there is definitely a gap. I can't say how big it is because I have literally no or barely any experience versing Paradox, excluding like a scrim. When was the last time a scrim, David? Like a month ago or something?
So yeah. they just never even. They never
trying to get scrim sesh. They just won't for some reason.
They won't even scrim you.
Been asking every week. No,
I ask you every
exposed. Fucking exposed, mate.
They're just not even on your mind, Tom. Is that that's
they're so far below me. I don't, why would I scrim these chumps? No, but I can't really give you a good answer there because I just don't know. I think the LAN is going to be a really good indicator of where both teams are at in regards to one another, because that will be probably the best example you can get on LAN, in a best of 5, all the maps played that we both know. Sorry, all the maps that we know both teams are good on being played. So yeah, I can't really answer the question.
Any kind of I guess response to that, David? Or are you quite happy with that as a sum up?
Yeah, I mean, so what we got? We're not counting Renegades, so we got Greyhound, Order Chiefs, and Avant is the steady top 4. I think like Avant beat, who did they beat to get into
Order?
The minors, Order, right?
They beat Order twice. Yeah.
Have they versed Chiefs and Greyhounds much?
No.
Honestly, I'm not sure there isn't. I'm not sure there is even a top 4 yet. I think it might still be a top 3.
Yeah.
Obviously, the minor result is incredible, and Avant making it there, but we haven't seen enough of them playing against.
I feel like from my team scrimming against the Avant, I think I could fairly accurately say they're top 4. But again, that's scrim, so I don't know.
Yeah. What, do they beat you in scrims? Sorry, I'm not trying to.
I mean,
was it just
like they do beat us. We beat them sometimes. It's like fairly even with them coming out on top more often. Like I would say they're better than us, definitely. But like we've scrimmed Order and Chiefs a fair bit, not Greyhound so much because they've been away for ages. And I'd say they're all at a comparable level, to be honest. Like they all have similar levels of skill in their teams. Like when you have APOC and APOC's experience, Sterling's experience from Greyhound, and then you've got Hazard being fucking insane.
Yeah,
I think they're a really strong contender for like with Order and Chiefs.
Yeah, definitely.
With Greyhound is like the clear first in my mind.
I don't mean to throw any don't mean to disrespect Avant or anything.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
We haven't seen enough of the domestic results. I think
I do agree. There's not a heap of like knowledge to go off, and that's just based on scrims that I'm talking about because we haven't seen them against Chiefs or Greyhound really at all, except I think one best. So yeah, who really knows? Like we'll have to see if they can bring it against teams other than Order.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Avant. You guys aren't even top 4, so how about that? No. No, obviously all respect to the boys. Good luck in the minor. It's coming up soon. kill it, boys. Just try and make it through, I guess. That'd be dope if they did pull that one off.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how it goes.
They look good, man, and this is a possibility. Ty Lue might shit the bed. You never know. That's a definite possibility for them.
I think they can beat them, but yeah, if we're getting.
I do as well.
Yeah,
especially with Ty Lue looking like they are now. Like they're not that impressive compared to what they used to be when they were fucking just destroying everyone. So I think they're a really good shot.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll ask this then to both of you. What do you reckon the percentage chance is that hands get thrown at this event? Is it pretty high? 100% chance. Now, do you think that you'll swing before the game start, mid game, or after the game?
Oh, the mid game. No, Epoc's notorious shit talker. The amount of stories I've heard are just insane. So I just know he's gonna say the wrong thing. He's gonna have to deal with fucking Vexite, the 6'8" Jackson Marine.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna spring across. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, one of the cunts in the team is gonna wide swing me, and I'm gonna fucking walk over and punch him in the face. That's how it's gonna go down.
Well, there you go. AEF.
Forfeit, our favorite.
Forfeit win. Paradox. So there you go, AF. You're definitely going to need to buff up the security. You're going to have to hire someone who's big. I heard Turtle's maybe free. I don't know. He's pretty big nowadays. So
yeah,
he's in the wrong city. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Ripperino. Well, I guess you guys are definitely going to be swinging then, because there's no other than him. Who else in esports could possibly stop you guys from just going haywire at each other?
Probably Apoc. He's fucking,
Yeah.
I'd be scared to cross him.
Okay.
Who else is bulked? I don't know. Top Gun?
True.
Yeah.
You could get Top Gun there. That could be possible.
Blitzen?
Yeah.
I would run away from Top Gun. I'm telling you right now. Fuck that.
I would as well. He also has a great HLTV picture. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but his picture
I'm really jealous.
It's
Every
top quality.
HLTV picture I've had is just fucking hideous.
The one with the lights, the current one from
Yeah.
IPL.
The one before that was me on it. Like, it was a green screen, and it was just bright green behind my fucking demented looking face. It was terrible.
Brilliant. Yeah, well, I guess that's who I'll call on then to be security at this AEF event, because he does have the greatest HLTV picture of all time. Next to maybe Doja. This is pretty good. If you can get him at that event, that would be some serious star power, and no one's getting past him.
I feel like you're forgetting about Elusive with the fucking
true.
rice hat.
Oh, the hat, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a classic.
Gold. Yeah.
That's perfect.
He's pretty buff as well, I hear. I haven't met him. But
yeah, it's I think he was vegan or something, and I don't even know.
Superpowers, yeah, vegan.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Vegans, eh? Well, we'll end this with a very simple question that I'll ask both of you, and I'll start with you, Tom. Why are you winning this final?
Why am I, or why?
Yeah, why are you going to win this final?
Because we're better, pretty much.
Just much better. Is there any rebuttal there to that one, David?
Oh, why are we going to win?
Yeah.
Oh, because I think they're better.
So,
I've been played.
Wait, so you're going to win because they think they're better. So you're kind of like, it's the mind games.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. It's a whole other level AEF Grand Finals. There's some serious mind games being played here. There might even be actual fisticuffs. Probably not, but hopefully. Well, you never know.
Knuckle dusters through airport security.
If Vertigo gets into the map pool, definitely. So that might even.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to fight the bloody admin if he gets through. So
even the crowd might get involved. You never know. No, please, crowd, don't get involved. Leave it to the professionals. This is what they do. So, all right. Well, that'll be it then. You've heard it here first. This is going to be a very interesting grand final. I think it should give a good perspective on where both of you guys are right now, and I'm hoping for all five. But I'm sure that you guys actually, you know what? Let's do that right before we go. What's your prediction, Tom? You go first. How are you getting this done?
3-1 probably.
Oh, that's spicy.
Let's say 3-1. Yeah.
What about you, David? What's the...
You know, yeah, probably 3-1. But before you finish, I will say, like, I think it would be a really fun event as well. Because both teams know each other quite well. There's going to be a lot of people from the scene in the crowd as well. I think it'll get rowdy. That's like, yeah, outside of winning it, of course, we're looking forward to that. But I think like we're really looking forward to the event as well. I think it'll be quite fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a great event. And I wish both of you guys the best of luck. So 3-1s from both sides. We'll see how it goes. That has been the first of this style. Yeah, I'm calling it Face Off. I don't know why. Just that's what came to mind. So that's what it is. Before we go, can you guys like just give us a bit of...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Can we get a...
Christ. Are you really making me
I'm actually going to face... You can just stare at each other. That works. It's for the thumbnail, man. Come on.
How do I... Which way do I... This way?
Yes, that way. Yep. Other way, Dave. You're turning away from him. You're turning away from him.
Oh, this way?
Yeah.
That's good? All right.
Hey,
like this way?
Yeah. That way.
Like this?
That
Tell me
way.
when I'm done.
That way.
All right.
You're looking the wrong way. Oh, no, you're looking the right way. Okay.
What?
All right, there you go.
Okay, we're done.
Perfect.
We're done with this. All right.
There it is, boys. AEF Grand Finals. Tickets will be in description. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.
See ya.
Fuck you.